Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89, Trackboy 89. Well, I'm here with T'Pol. Um, Nacelle has released a couple of previews for Wave 2. They're calling it a sneak peek of Wave 2, and it includes T'Pol and Bem. Now, Bem's an animated character, so he's probably, I don't know. They should try and make him look realistic, like what that character would look like in real form. Whereas T'Pol, I think it looks a bit cartoony, a bit anime, and I'm a bit worried because most of us who are collectors, we have some of the Art Asylum figures, and they were very well sculpted, particularly the Next Generation and original series ones. But because they were characters that had already, gone into the past, they were sculpted from photographs and memory. Whereas my understanding was the Next Generation, the Nemesis figures and the Enterprise figures, they actually scanned the actual people, and that's what they based the sculptures on and the toys on. So they're very realistic versions of the characters, to the point where they look a bit odd because in real life they don't look like they do on screen and in 2 dimensions. So when we have these characters, these toys of figures we used to see in 2 dimensions on TV, like flat on TV and print, trying to make them look like that, they don't quite look like they do in real life. So that's why I think a lot of these scanned figures, although they're supposed to be really accurate, look a little off. But they still look good. Like I've got Trip here and that. But yeah, so we're getting, because Art Asylum gave us T'Pol in season 1 and 2 in her brown Vulcan uniform. But then she resigned for season 3 and 4, and she still, for some reason, decided to wear a jumpsuit, or a catsuit. And they're giving us one of them. There was a blue one and a orange one, and they're giving us the blue one, and her proportions look like what you would expect a woman to look like in like an anime thing or a cartoon or a toy, I guess, but I'm not sure if it's really realistic. She's got the ab crunch. That's about the only thing they really improved on, because the originals didn't have ab crunch. They did have rubber costume, so you didn't see the leg joins and the hip joints, but it did make them very difficult to pose. Like Captain Archer, putting him in his chair is a nightmare because you can't fold his legs up enough. He just sort of looks like he's like about to slide out of the seat, like he complained about in that episode when Trip was redoing the captain's chair. But yeah, she comes with 6 hands and a book, some bits and pieces, a communicator, phaser, pad, it looks like a scanner. I mean, she looks good because they did change her look in that season. They let her hair grow a little bit because she did have a big forehead, and she didn't have pointed eyebrows. She had arched eyebrows. Now, whether that was because they didn't want to make the actress look too alien and not attractive. But in this season, they gave her the proper pointed eyebrows. They lowered the hair a little bit, which looked a little more Vulcan because she had that line. But the face, the head looks a little anime, a little bobble-headed, a little rounded. Not quite realistic. I was expecting more realistic sculpts from Nacelle. And, I mean, I'm glad we're getting different T'Pol, like, instead of just getting season 1 again, but I don't see why they'd do that, although season 1's the first one. But season 3 and 4 is what we're getting. And I'm just wondering, are we going to get Phlox in his medical outfit? Because what we got was Phlox in a spacesuit, which was cool, but we never got the regular Phlox. And same thing with Hoshi. I'm hearing we're getting a Hoshi, but are we gonna be able to put these characters with the other toys and have them basically match? I thought the idea was they were going to help us complete our collections and expand our collections with characters we hadn't gotten before and ones that were missed. Ones we never thought we'd get and ones we sort of expected to get, like Hoshi in a proper uniform and Phlox in his medical, sick bay, I don't know what to call what he wears. T'Pol in her different outfits, it's going to be easier to blend this in with the others, because, obviously you can't compare matching uniforms, but putting Hoshi next to the others, now she's a woman, so her figure's going to be different than the other men, but the uniform itself should be the same. So I'm not really sure if they're going to do a good job of matching and blending and having realistic, accurate sculpts, or if they're just going to do sort of cartoon anime style sort of toy versions of them. I'm not sure, but just had to comment on it. I saw some pictures, I saw the previews. I mean, Ben does look good, but he does look very animated, and I'm like, I know he's an animated character, but shouldn't we be doing him like a real life character as a toy instead of an animated version of a toy? So I'm not really sure if Nacelle really is going in the right direction with anything they're doing. I'm trying to be hopeful that we're going to get some of the characters we've always wanted, but I'm not sure. But yep, I just had to give my 2 cents on that and have a bit of YouTube therapy, because I'm anxious that I'm not going to be able to finish these collections, which I was thinking I was going to be for a minute, because that's sort of what they were promising fans. I'm not sure if they're going to deliver, but we've got another couple of examples of what they're offering, and we'll see when we actually see them in person and when we see how far the line actually goes when it's all over.